Look at this. What the heck does this post mean? That sign cracks me up. Please like and follow this post.
Scene switch to live R5A 658 62 milliseconds.
Actually, I didn't have any meetings. What I was doing is I'm waiting for a coworker to get out of meetings. And I thought, while I wait for him to get out of meetings, I may as well go for a ride and go home and have the meeting with him from home. Like, there's nothing that I can't do at home that I can do at the office. It's all the same computer system. And I thought we were going to deal with it first thing this morning, but we didn't. So I'm sitting there going, he's been busy all day. Let's go, limo. uh, and it wasn't nearly as many as normal. I don't know. Oh, I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just the headwind, but my legs don't feel particularly fantastic. It's like they're missing some watts. Hey, thank you very much, Melissa. I haven't been able to tune into a lot of Sarah's streams lately due to time zone issues. Voice. Stupid Nissan. Oh, nice. Oh, that's cool. Yeah, there's not really a whole lot of people streaming on the island. big issue is cell coverage sucks. Super sucks. I tried to do my best and, go to different places, but it's usually foiled by lack of coverage. So many cool places I'd love to try to stream, but doesn't usually work out. It's funny because you watch people, especially Europe, there'll be dudes streaming in the mountains. Like, hey, come on this camping stream with me. I'm gonna backpack in the mountains and camp. And it's like, what? What do you mean? Here, I'm like, look at me. I'm downtown and the stream is going offline and like there's for sure a dead spot coming up. What's funny is most of the time it just drops really fast out of the blue. Like I'm pushing 9,000 bit rate. At any second it's going to drop from 9,000 and it's going to go offline. Well, there goes one of them. One of the plans. Make it? I think we might. Nope. Oh. Nope.
R5A, 1275, 61 milliseconds.
We made it. That's like the dead zone right there. 9,000 down to 1,200 in 50 meters. Really need to figure out some sort of way to mount antennas. I think that would give a decent boost, because right now they're just jammed in the frame bag. Which is also filling up my frame bag with antennas. I need to get them externally mounted. I know this is probably gonna jinx it, but I feel that I have solved the camera disconnect issues. Which now that I go over these train tracks, it's gonna disconnect. I'm purposely running over bumps to try to get it to disconnect, but it hasn't yet. Holy moly.
Long time no see. Yellow raid from the right. Happy riding, friend.
Hey,
He's back.
Left work early. Had enough of work. It's too sunny. Need to be riding. Afternoon. Is it afternoon? Yes, it is afternoon. Definitely afternoon for you guys. But oh.
It's nice here, but I feel like cutting early on day 3 of new job is a bad plan.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I'm not necessarily cutting off from work early. I'm waiting for one very specific person because I need to have a quick meeting with him, but he's busy all day. So I was sitting at work and I can't move forward with anything new until I meet with him. So I figured I'm gonna go for a ride, make my way home, And when I get home, he should be free. Then I can finish what I'm doing, and we're all good.
Right, off to bed. Cheers, Sab and Chat.
See ya, Barty.
Night, Bard.
We haven't had a fire bath salts in quite a while. A little bit disappointed in the crackheads. Or maybe they're meth heads, I don't know.
Oh. Inspen is now following.
Hey, thanks for the follow. I'm looking forward to turning around because this has been fighting some darn wind. Anyone have a fire extinguisher? Yeah, poor Jasper, man. It was Lytton a few years ago. Jasper this year. Kind of shows like the overwhelming force of nature, you know, when you get these big forest fires. Oh, is the Souk one getting bigger? Jeez. See, the wind has been going the wrong direction. We haven't had any smoke. It's all been going, the wind's been going south. Usually you kind of know what's going on because usually we have a ton of smoke from all over the province.
It's swirling inwards right now. It's been smoky for me yesterday was worse than today. The air is in control. In Alberta.
Yeah, it's like we aren't in control. Like you would think that with all modern technology that you'd be able to stop a fire from burning a town down, and really you have no control. They're just trying to slow the fire down. Hey Cotodon, how's it going with you? It's going good. It's 12:47 and I'm riding in sort of to home. It's sunny, it's not too hot, it's kind of windy.
It's worse now because they don't have many structural fires fighters, mostly trained forest firefighters.
Yeah, totally different skill set of fighting a building fire as opposed to forest fire. Oh, the light's green. Will I make it? Nope. I'll push the button. Yeah, that's what happened in Jasper. Was one of the gas stations like caught fire and blew up, which I mean can't really help the fire when you have, I mean, thousands of gallons of gas.
You mean in Jasper? Yeah. I heard that too. Should give free gas to escapees. So the tanks are empty. And maybe they won't blow up. I haven't watched any news I don't usually watch.
Yeah, I haven't really watched any news. It's just sort of little tidbits of articles coming up on my feed.
We're gonna lose it all. The fuel might as well try and prevent it. Everyone is evacuated already, Beer.
I think that's part of the problem is it happens so quickly, they don't even really have time to plan. It's like, everyone pack up your shit and get out now.
Same whenever new stuff would say low.
Yeah, a few years back, there was a fire up near my house and it got within a few kilometers and they pretty much said, like, start
Jasper
packing.
weekend it started. Fire happened so fast. Had a bad feeling though, and didn't go. I don't watch USA propaganda. I mean news.
Let's go to the mall.
If I would have gone, I would likely have been trapped. The mall I used to go there and watch movies long. Looks less dead than our malls. Was planning some big hikes. The last time I was at mall was in 2019.
Yeah, I haven't actually been in this mall in a really long time because my kids are at the age now where I can just drop them off at the mall and I don't have to go in. And I don't think there's a single store in this mall that I would want to go to. I need to shift. Always in the wrong gear at the stop signs.
I remember when this mall opened. It was so big.
Yeah. Well, I think it's still classified as one of the largest malls on the island.
Oh yay. Still is the biggest mall on Vancouver Island, I think.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, that's what the last I've heard. I don't see any other malls.
Oh really? Melissa 420 Honeybee, are you in Alberta also? Wowzo clutch, no, I'm near Victoria. Birthday raising hands, light skin tone raising hands, medium light skin tone raising hands, medium skin tone raising hands, medium dark skin tone raising hands, dark skin tone. I see. I am outside Edmonton. Inclusive TTS.
Very inclusive.
Whoa, what the heck is that roundabout?
Yeah, they finally put something there. That was probably the worst intersection in Nanaimo.
Perfect place for one, to be honest.
Yeah, I literally would not go to Michael's for craft supplies because you could never leave Michael's. Yes, we totally have fiber. Actually, Nanaimo was one of the very first places in BC with TELUS to get fiber. I think currently at my house I can get 2 gigabits per second fiber line. I just have the 1 gig. Yeah. This is a desirable place to retire. There is a lot of retirees here moving from other parts of Canada. Yeah, exactly. Oh, yes. Qualicum and Parksville. Oh man, the last time I rode through Parksville a few weeks ago, I was just like getting road rage on my bike. All the drivers like, what are you doing? Like I was going faster than most of the cars on my bike. Yeah, we just spent a week, or I didn't spend a week. My family spent a week. I spent like 3 days up at Rathtrevor. Yeah, you know what? I grew up in Powell River, and it's kind of funny. Like those small towns, man, you just couldn't wait to get out. And then as soon as you get out, you realize what a kick-ass place it was. Oh, I would move back to Powell River in a second. Well, Powell River is just like, if you're into outdoor shit, man, you have everything. Like, you have everything within minutes. If you have a boat, you could be like salmon fishing, and within like 35 minutes, you could be in a lake fishing for trout. Like, and we're not talking little lakes. All the lakes there are huge. You know, every single house pretty much has an ocean view. For a small town, it has all the amenities, like every major store you could actually ever want. I'm sure most of the gigantic box stores are totally subsidizing the stores in Powell River, but Sunshine Coast Trail, the canoe route. Go get yourself a cabin up the lake.
Where are you riding today?
Well, I'm waiting for someone at work to be done meetings. It probably is, Clutch. I'm just going the long way home.
Sarah and Hitch did a trip up island and through the Sunshine Coast last year.
Yeah, see, their stupid trip. How did they get cell reception so much? I was watching most of their stream up on the Sunshine Coast, and I'm like, how are you filming this?
Purchased Crown land after they finished.
Actually, when Sarah and Hitch did that Up Island trip, I was working because I was gonna try to stream snipe them and ride with them for a little ways when they came through Nanaimo, but it was like a weird time.
I still think I will do the Sunshine Coast Trail in the future.
Yeah,
I don't know about technology much, but maybe multiple sims.
yeah, I know he's running. I'm pretty sure he's running like live view sims, which are like a global. I don't know if they have more juice or what. Yeah, the Sunshine Coast Trail is definitely on the list. I don't know when though, but it's on the list. I have way too many things on the list that never get done. The Tree to Sea Loop, that's on the list. I'd like to do the BC Epic.
Only hard part is the rain out there.
Yeah, well, that's the beauty of Powell River is it gets actually very little rain.
Also, Bogue thinks they use multiple towers. Lightning maybe shows is not working well, but I could be wrong. Gotta work on that list.
I'd like to be dropped off in Port Hardy and do the Port Hardy to Victoria ride. That'd be fun bike packing. I'd like to do more bike packing. I just with the
Tell me about the Trans-Canada Rail Gravel Trail Canadaisen.
yes, there's the Trans-Canada Trail, but it's funny because it kind of connects and doesn't connect all at the same time. It goes right near my house. And if you follow it, it hits the Nanaimo River and stops.
That's how USA is. Galloping goose.
Yeah, the Gallop.
Supposed to be DC to Oregon, but not done. Someone say bike packing.
Yeah.
Nice. The Divide Trail is more complete in my opinion, but it's also on fire. Pookie, fly out to DC. Let's ride to Oregon in America. Go to Canada. Do the gravel back west to east.
That Ohio ride that you posted, Beer, that seems super interesting.
Hey, thanks. My next small tour is going into the Washington State to the San Juan Islands.
Nice. Well, I know there's
Planning for late August.
an unofficial route, gravel route, from Port Hardy to Victoria.
Mark it on my calendar. Beer varying. OTETA, like 3 to 5 days, one state.
See, that'd be pretty cool. Hey, pimp.
I kinda look at the San John Island where I am.
I'd love to do like, yeah, Gulf Island.
You're forced into higher power.
R5A, 616, 67 milliseconds. Scene switch to live, R5A, 722, 74 milliseconds. Where? Go back.
Yeah, don't lose signal for very long, but you just lose signal in weird spots.
My character won't say exactly long.
See, I rode down to Crofton to the ferry terminal, and then I turned around and went home. It'd be nice to actually take the ferry and do like the whole circle tour, go to Victoria, and ride back from Victoria.
I find the Gulf Islands are great to ride on
Yeah,
River Rally.
I hate hills. Just, uh, I had such an enjoyable ride going to Courtney because there was minimal elevation gain.
Yay, not the greatest actually, super hilly and windy and not a lot of side roads. Courtney and Denman are great riding. Salt Spring Island is great. But the hills make you want to die.
Yeah, the bike I'm on now has some decent hill gearing. My other bike, not so much. And every uphill was soul crushing and leg crushing. The amount of effort to not.
But it's honestly not very safe. I hitchhike and walk and almost had to jump in ditches before.
Where?
My race bike is front 42T and rear 28T.
Oh, 42.
Same day I was gonna maybe program to the Longwood.
Yeah, let's get some beer.
100 in Ohio number. Oh damn.
Yeah, the bike I'm on right now,
I am
I have a
not
30 front ring and a 36 rear cassette. So 30-36 is pretty decent for climbing.
The hills are still already T9 late. A lot will bring little kids too that have to bike those hills. Hill talk it over W White after Bert Ball. Yes, I love to drink.
Yeah, the 30-36, you can pretty much climb steep ass hills and still keep your watts below 300.
I love to ski. On my cross bike is 40 in front and 36 rear. I don't need a foot.
And that was the problem with my other bike, was you would burn matches all the time because the gearing wasn't low enough, so you were having to do 350 watts up every hill, otherwise you'd fall over. They were on night shift and they were just about to go home.
127, 1646 miss. Seat switch. Live, R5A, 573, 58 milliseconds.
So random. So random.
Hi, yes, Italy. Fear the of falling over make you go harder.
Yeah, well that's the problem with the like you're on a gravel ride going up a steep gravel hill and you're just grinding, but your wattage is so high because you're trying to maintain a certain speed, because otherwise you will just fall over. But then I'm stubborn and I could just get off and walk.
Okay, wife was gonna go to Detroit to see friend W kid and dogs while I rode west to east across state in Michigan, but maybe he'll drive down for this while she goes to Detroit same day. 5 hours. I am gonna have to buy a road bike someday.
No, you don't need a road bike.
Yay, I can do these road rides fast enough on gravel on 42 millimeters.
Just put road tires on your gravel bike. That's what I'm doing. I got 32s on this bike and I just swap the tires back and forth. I'm all for the one bike.
Road bike. Mine is 12 years old. Come.
Comfort is king. I'll tell you, I've done longer and faster rides on this gravel bike than I ever did on my Venge.
It'd be nice to just do road wheels, tires even and just be done.
Yeah, or I know a bunch of guys that do that. You just get 2 sets of wheels. You have a gravel set and a road set. And pretty much as long as it's the same hubs, you don't need to mess with your disc brakes.
Makes the GT5032 great tire for a gravel wheel.
Yeah, actually, it's funny. The 32s on these rims, I think, are aerodynamically perfect. Because these rims I have on this bike are 25 mil inner and a 33 outer. And Continental is usually bang on their measurements. So, like when I look at my wheel and tire, the tire just goes straight into the rim. There's no ballooning or anything. Hey, monkey. I got short cranks on the way. I think I'm gonna get the cranks on, put some miles on them, and then I'm gonna try to plan to do a 300 early next month. I feel like,
Surprised you found any short cranks in stock after Tour de France.
dude, it was hard. It was literally nearly, I was embarrassed. I felt like I was a bandwagon jumper. I've been researching shorter cranks because all through all of my TT races, being a bigger dude, my knees are always slapping against my gut. And I've been looking and looking and looking. I just never thought to pull the trigger. And then after I did that 250K ride, where I probably spent 6.5 hours in the drops, and when you got a belly full of liquid and like sports energy gummies and your knees are constantly like hitting your stomach, you're like, oh gosh. And so I was like, screw this, I need shorter cranks. And then Tour de France happened, and now every video on YouTube in my feed is like, you should get shorter cranks, you should get shorter cranks. And I went into the local shop and was like, I need to order me some 165s. And then they're like, oh, sure you do. And then they pull it up on their system and they're like, yeah, they're back ordered till October. I'm like, October? Are you kidding me?
I just bought shorter cranks too.
And so then I was searching online, every place, out. And I found a website out of California called like Power Meter City. And they had a really good deal. And they still had like SRAM Force cranks in 165 in stock. Without chain rings, which, because I don't need the chain rings, but. The aero bars on long rides is such a game changer, and I love the position. It's so comfortable. I'm just too fat.
All I have been able to find is cranks without rings too.
Yeah, well, that's perfect because I found the exact cranks that I have without the rings, so I can swap my rings, and it saved a bunch of money because to add the SRAM, the chain rings are one piece. Like the dual ring setup is like this one piece weird CNC machine thing. So of course it's really expensive. But I figure shorter cranks, I can then raise my seat up just slightly more. And I should have gut clearance on the aero bars, and I'm hoping, because man, you could just like lean in the aero bars all day long. And it's not even like I have the aero bars set up for full aero position. They're raised up more for comfort than aeroness.
Drive to the start town. Super interested. I want to ride the rail trail in Fiji.
It's funny actually watching the Tour de France, because I didn't even know Pog was on shorter cranks, but every time I saw a clip of him riding beside other people, I was like, wait a sec, it looks weird. His leg's not moving that much. Yeah, there's like no, like, ah, everyone is buying 165s now. Like everyone. Which is probably good because, like, maybe this will start the revolution of bikes actually coming with appropriate sized cranks, but the whole backstory of 172.5 is just like didn't make any sense anyways. Well, and that's the problem too, is like every bike that I've ever owned always comes with 172.5s. I think my mountain bike's got 175s. I don't think there's anything inherently wrong with 175s. It's just, I think the new method, or I guess the new fad, is shorter cranks, because apparently, you know, having your joints move less is better for you. Your joints move less, you can get into a more aero position without your legs. Yeah, and I don't mind slightly higher cadence. I usually ride at a slightly higher cadence when I'm like solo riding anyways, and not just tootling around. Because yeah, it was everyone's bikes are 172.5. I think the other thing too is the, I mean, wattage is basically like the force of your cranks times the cadence. You know, it's just a mathematical formula. So with longer cranks, you actually have to apply more force at a or you apply force at a lower cadence. Where a shorter crank, to produce the same wattage, you have to spin faster, so a higher cadence. But higher cadence with a slightly less effort on your legs is better for your cardiovascular system for sort of endurance type sports. I could say endurance type events. Yeah, you need like your pedal to be spring loaded into a crank arm. Well, yeah, that's the theory behind the oval rings, is you're loading all of the pressure on the crank on the downstroke when you would normally be applying all the pressure.
My XL bike comes with 175 cranks. Where are my 190 cranks, Madge? Not sure, monkey.
190. Oh, 190 cranks. That'd be hilarious. I'd be hitting my chin with 190 cranks.
I hear oval is easier on your knees.
Yeah, well, it's like, remember the whole BioPace thing that Shimano did? I had BioPace chain rings on my bike in like the early 90s.
Far tall. You're buried in evidence.
Oh, there's too many cars.
You are like 1.75 minus 2x movie height, I bet.
I could have gone for the KOM on this downhill, but the winds are favorable.
It sounds funny, but that little extra bit of clearance for my toes with shorter cranks will actually help with toe overlap. I bet you want longer cranks though.
Actually, you know what?
He is at least 200 centimeters.
I never actually thought about that, but that's totally true. My toes are very close when I run 40s.
Longer cranks. Spin the props.
Hang on to the props while this guy drags me down the hill. Oh, ferry traffic. Look at all those lineup of cars. Go home, you bums. Stay off our island.
0.5 millimeters might not sound like much, but every little bit helps.
Well, in theory too, what actually happens is if you shorten your cranks by 7.5 millimeters, you in theory can raise your saddle 7.5 millimeters to keep the same leg length. But if you raise your saddle 7.5 mil, you actually end up with a net of 15 millimeters of less knee movement. So when you think about your joints, like especially like your knee, 15 mils is a decent amount. I think 15 mils is just about the perfect amount for my knees to not hit my gut. Nah, who am I joking? It's still gonna hit. Just slightly less. Yeah, well, that's what, like, I don't mind spinning fast. I'm usually like, well, especially on Zwift. If I'm racing, I'm easily in the 90s. Dude, I need to lose 20 pounds. I need to lose 40 pounds, but the problem with the weight is I am continually going faster on the bike and having personal records. And so it's very difficult for my brain to want to lose weight while I'm breaking personal records. Like, it's hard to, if I was suffering on the bike, I'd be like, man, I need to lose some weight, but I'm faster than I've ever been, and I'm fatter than I've ever been.
The power tank putting in work. Sort of like the monster trucks of the crank world. You like pedal strike EH.
200 millimeters. Yeah, that's exactly. Oh, could you imagine? I couldn't even like. Oh, that is 200. That'd be a big stroke.
Are you doing downhill events only?
Yeah. I wish. I wish there was more downhill road events. Actually, I wish there was any downhill road events. That'd be fun.
That's what he'll name my bike. Deathstroke.
Deathstroke.
Not to be confused with my porn name. Haha.
Oh, low tide.
I want more Waffle House. Don't let your dreams be dreams. There's none here. I need to go back to Husky's area or Pimps.
There you go, beer. Look. Trans Canada Trail. I'm on it.
Waffle House is the best example of something you can both love and hate at the same time.
So we are officially on the Trans Canada Trail. I actually didn't know that.
OMG, let me run out to the Trans Canada Trail by my house and I'll shout.
And I can hear you.
Hear it. Looks paved.
Yeah,
Real.
it's very, very paved. It's funny, I ride this route daily and I didn't know it was part of the Trans Canada Trail.
What if we ran 2 cups in a string? From CAB to camp.
Oh, that is a long string.
Beer Bear 8s are no part of Trans Canada Trail. Here is paved, all gravel. I think I hear you village lol. Woo LFG clutch.
Oh, it smells like low tide.
Part of it goes for Devon. Come on Canada Paver Rail Trail. If they paved the Trans Canada Trail here I would unironically only ride that.
Yeah, pretty much, eh? I can't wait till they get rid of the E&N train tracks.
It's why I always go to the bike path near me. Forget partisan politics. Pro cycling, pro rail trail politicians only, please.
Well, I know the train track people got dealt a blow 5 or 6 months ago here because they sent some petition to like the federal government.
Recently elected mayor declared a war on bikes, stating cars needed to be thought of more.
Yeah. Well, that's the catch-22 with bikes, though, is no one is going to start riding unless there's the infrastructure to ride. So the unfortunate thing for car drivers is you need to build the bike lanes and have no one use them for a while until people realize they're there, and then they'll start using the bike lanes. Oh, that thing stinks. It's like a sewage outlet right at the end of that trail. There's something going on. It smells like poop all the time. I don't understand why like cities and mayors are so anti-bike. Like, what are bikes doing that is so wrong? You mean being good for the environment? Making your population healthy?
Drivers are enraged by the fact the bike lanes are always cleaner than the road because the park staff takes care of them.
Yeah, that's probably it.
Roads law.
That's probably it.
Where are they gonna park their massive SUVs?
Well, that's when this bike lane
Not
was
everyone
built.
can afford a car. Hell, I barely manage it. Ironically, our mayor is an athlete too. He's a marathon runner. You would think he would have some sympathy towards cyclists, but no.
He probably runs on running paths through parks and never actually runs on the road. You know what you should do? You should plop him down.
Don't drive much.
Plop him down right beside on the highway.
Is that a bike tour couple?
Looks like it, yeah. Bike packing.
Busy banging tri-chicks.
Banging tri.
Glad.
Like, make him run down the side of the highway with cars buzzing him at 110k an hour. Yeah, when these bike lanes were put in, car drivers flipped their shit. Do you know what the biggest argument car drivers have is? You're making the roads too narrow to drive. Maybe you should learn how to drive. Because the roads still meet Transport Canada specifications. Like, that car that just passed had so much room, you could put another bike lane and that car would still have room to get down the road.
Villager of eternity just run behind him and yelled at him to get off the sidewalk. The sidewalk is for walking. It's truck people.
Yeah, totally. Well, then what's funny is, so they made this road narrower, and all these car people freaked out that they made it narrower, but there's nothing on this road that people need to drive to. Why are you even on this section of road? There's no stores. This road is like a bypass that you could take another road. Like, you never need to drive on this road ever. Yeah, exactly. Follow him while he's running and yell obscenities at him. You suck, runner. Get on the sidewalk where you belong. Running sucks. Just get him so frustrated. It's kind of funny though, because I have a coworker that he just recently started riding his bike to work all the time. He had a medical issue which made it so he couldn't drive. And it's hilarious because every time I go to work now and he's in his office, he stops me to tell me all about shitty drivers. Every day. I laugh at him because I'm like, see, this is what I've been saying for 10 years. He's like, I went by his office today and he'd be like, Lee, stop. He's like, you won't believe what happened to me today. Actually, that's a big misconception here, is where the money comes for bike lanes. People don't understand what their tax dollars actually do and what tax dollars actually pay for what. Because there's a big push here that they think cyclists should be insured and licensed. And I'm like, bring it on. I'll totally be insured and licensed. Why not? Whoa, almost ran over a rabbit. See, car insurance in BC is run by a government branch. Insurance Corporation of British Columbia. That was a little tiny rabbit too. And so if bicyclists or cyclists were required to have insurance, so if cyclists were required to have insurance and licenses, all of that would get run through ICBC. So then you'd have your insurance through ICBC like every car driver would have. Man, I would go leave my bike locked up at the mall every 6 months, and I'd be getting a brand new bike covered under insurance because it got stolen. Well, yeah, and then what would happen is my bike would get stolen, because how many bikes get stolen a day in BC? Thousands. Then all the car drivers, their insurance rates would go up because of all the bikes being stolen. Because I don't think a lot of car drivers who aren't cyclists realize how expensive bikes can get. I'm gonna go get me a $16,000 Tarmac S-Works. That's totally true, and that is the big problem, is there is cyclists doing lots of crazy shit. Well, bikes, man, bikes get stolen so easy because they're easy to steal. And even if you lock them up, There is something. There's like tape. There's like tape on my front wheel. Oh, no, it's not tape. It's a flower.
I had plates stolen last weekend. Driver plates, I mean.
You had your plate stolen? Oh, that sucks. Well, now too, is even if you lock your bike up, if someone wants to take it, they're still gonna get it. Battery powered grinders are getting too small and too powerful.
Beat those crazy blocks. But they are a ton. Engine was off and running locked as well.
Yeah, honestly, I don't care anymore. If I have to go into a store, I bring my bike with me. People can bring their dogs in the store. I can bring my bike. I heard in Japan it's really good. You can leave stuff everywhere and no one touches it. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I've been told. Yeah, or what you do is you take the chain off the chain ring. So if someone jumps on your bike and tries to pedal, there's no like forward movement. But yeah, I heard in Japan that you could like be at a coffee shop, leave your cell phone on a table in the coffee shop, go away all day, come back, and your cell phone won't even be moved. People would be using that table all day and go, oh, that's not my phone. I'll just leave it there. You were a danger to people with your bike, Dimitri? Why? Because like your bike is gonna like bite someone? It's so vicious. Hey, match up. Dude was smoking a bong right on the sidewalk. Oh, that's because the mic is 4 inches from my mouth. Maybe. I'm peeing my pants right now. I do have to go to the bathroom. No, I'm still technically at work, so I had to stop and answer work text messages. Yeah. That'd be the dream. Well, that'd be the dream on weather like today. You'd get some pretty shitty days. Yeah. Actually, this is it's still working hours, but I'm trying to get home because I was waiting for another guy that I need to have a meeting with to get out of his meeting. And so instead of sitting in the office twiddling my thumbs, I thought I'd make my way home because by the time I get home, he should be free. I can finish what I need to get done. Nice, that's a good ride. Well, that's bang on. That's nice. I like the whole 1,000 meters per 100 kilometers. I feel that's a nice ratio. Six seconds of coasting for an outside ride, that is pretty amazing. I think I've coasted for half an hour on this ride. That's crazy.
Have 119 kilometers down. It takes like 30 to 40 minutes and you descend for 450 meters.
That'd be awesome. All right. Well, that is about it. Let's see who is on. Yeah, Dimitri, thanks. Thanks everyone for stopping by. Thanks the Yellow Timer for the raid. I like they got this new painting going on here, and I feel like I actually have a bike lane going home now. Hey, thanks for stopping by, Melissa.